results. It looks fantastic. Yeah, it's really good.
Wow, Andy. We're going to break this up into two parts, obviously. The first part is kind of go out driving, have a chat, and experience the Shirons sport. Kind of talk about the differences between the two, and just you in general. You know, this story is about the car, but there's a big part of you going down in history as well, and then about that car and what that's like.
Oh yeah, you're gonna wish you didn't ask me because you can't stop me talking. When
you know what? Let's do it. So what do we do now? Are we driving out or?
Yeah. So I know you were with my colleague Butch Lightsinger.
Yes.
In LA, you drove.
Yes. In Pebble. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. So what we're going to do now? I'm just going to show you some of the roads around here, but it's just a short demo.
Okay.
And then we've got a great place we can switch drivers. And then we'll go. It looks like we might be lucky with traffic today.
Yeah,
so
we definitely want to beat that.
Yeah, and it's 20 degrees Celsius, sun's shining. Couldn't be better.
Let's do it.
First thing we're going to do, we just roll out. I guess Butch showed you this. But,
yes.
So these are normally air conditioning controls.
Uh-huh.
But if you push this bottom button for 1 second, you can change the info that it shows, but this is showing max power.
Uh-huh.
So at the moment, 31 is all we've used since we fired up. Horsepower, and then 18 kilometers an hour. Would you prefer that in miles? We can switch that to miles.
Yeah, would you mind? Would that be all right with you?
No worries at all. Let's have a look. Additional display units. Let's have a look. Speed. Let's go to miles. Bingo. Okay, so 11 miles an hour.
We're literally like idling.
But it's interesting to show you that, because what I like to do, just as we get on the highway, just press the throttle down for a little bit. As soon as a little bit of boost comes, then look at how much power the engine produced at what low RPM. And that just gives you some idea of the flexibility of the engine on this. So I don't know if I'll be able to recreate it exactly. When I do it right, you can get 810, 820 horsepower.
Wow.
And you haven't reached 4,000.
Oh my gosh.
So,
that is bonkers.
It is, because 800 horsepower is a supercar in anybody's book. Less than 4,000 RPM. And then, of course, that continues up till you get your 50.
And we hit 0 to 60 in what, 2 point...
So 0 to 62.1 is 2.4 seconds.
2.4 seconds.
100 Ks. 200 Ks is 6.1. 300 Ks is 13.1. So these numbers are different from
I have to ask, are you really good with math? Because obviously when you're driving at the bonkers speed that you're driving, there's so much calculation going in your head. What is that like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to it because from the racing, I stopped racing in 2012, but from the racing, you have to be quite analytical and you have to understand lots of things and monitor lots of things. So this was no different, to be honest. And also, there were quite a lot of subjects at school that I wasn't very good at, but the maths and physics, I was always interested in that. So that sort of comes naturally. Some of the other subjects my teachers would have told you didn't come naturally at all. But there we go.
I'm not going to stop grinning ear to ear because this is one of those moments where you just feel so special.
What's great about this though is you can just drive along in traffic. Doesn't matter. It just idles along. It's really easy. It's not straining to go. And then when you find a nice piece of road, boom, it changes into...
But you realize we've got a really powerful engine just literally right behind us.
Yeah, it's a powerful engine, but at the same time, it's an engine that's not at all stressed. You can jump into one of these that's done well over 100,000 kilometers. It's, if anything, better than new. The engine is amazing, and even as you know with the other car, the Super Sport 300 Plus, if you pin that for 57 seconds, okay, we were rolling before I pinned it, but if you pin it for 57 seconds, you can reach over 300 miles an hour. It's amazing. It really is amazing. So this is the little bit of road I was talking about. So if I just pop it into third gear, I'm only going to just tip into it just for this demo.
Okay.
So there's a bit of lag because it's a very high gear, and then off. And then we look at that, so that's 567 horsepower, 3,000 revs.
Oh my gosh!
Isn't that crazy?
That's a proper sports car.
Right there. So if I do it slightly longer, just a bit more, off. So where are we now? We're
761. Oh my God, 961 horsepower at
I overshot it.
4,000. Yeah, perfect. I love it. Oh my gosh.
So just give you an idea of the flexibility. Yeah, it's out of this world. It really is. Maximum power's at 6,700. So you're usually they're just above 1,500.
Okay.
When you're getting wide open. Obviously here we're on the open road with other people, so we're just gonna take it cool for a bit.
So do you have a route that you normally take journalists out on?
I've got several.
Okay.
So I monitor the traffic because really we want to be on our own if we can.
Yes.
So we just monitor what's happening. So yeah, there's too many cars around here, but you can appreciate now just the ride quality. It's incredibly well supported damping wise. The roll is really well under control, but it's supple at the same time. Here we go. We might just be able to just. So I'm just gonna. All I'm gonna do is go down into. Let's go to third, and I'll just squeeze it, and then I'll lift off again in a moment. But this is third, so it's pulling along. Now we're just going to jump on the brake and we're going to take it all off again. So it's 1490. No wheel spin, no moving around.
Traction was fantastic.
And the braking, it's incredible.
So the braking, at what point does the air brake kick in?
180 k's, 112 miles an hour.
Okay.
You'll have air brake after that. So you can get there and you can slow down again. There's no moving around, no instability, perfect ride quality, but you can fire that much power onto the road.
I don't know what to say to that.
It's quite impressive, isn't it? So that was third gear. We'll have one more section before we switch over, and I'll just show you in first gear.
Sure.
What's really impressive is the lack of wheel spin. So it's no good. You can give the car as much power as you want, but if you can't put it on the road, that's what limits your acceleration.
Right.
So in this case, as long as there's nobody around, we can pop it in first gear and just show that lack of wheel spin. So, okay, there's a truck there, but we'll just let it go away.
Okay, so for the record, Andy's going to pop the Chiron Sport into first gear, and you're just going to hammer it and see whether there's wheel spin or not.
Yeah, and there won't be, because all you need to see is 20 Celsius or more on the tyre temperature, or 25 actually.
Okay, definitely that's something we want to talk about later, is the tyre pressure and things like that.
Well, this is the temperature. So
temperature, sorry.
If you've got 25, there's no wheel spin.
Okay.
Even 22 is good enough, but so we're above that now, so it's all going to be good. So we're going to pop it in first, make sure there's nothing around the corner. I'm just going to pin it just for short.
Sure.
So you can feel there's no wheel spin. So go and so now it's just pure grip. And then we take it off again.
1,500 horsepower.
Exactly 15, yeah.
Perfectly 1,500.
And it's so secure when it's doing what it does. That's the thing, and it's accessible. So, if you're somebody who's driving the car all the time and you know the car well, it's great. If you're somebody that's just jumping in it for first or second time, it's not going to bite you.
Right.
So it's usable.
And for the owner, for example, these folks might have 3 or 4 different type of cars, and this might not get driven for a month or 2. Yeah. So the point is, with the Bugatti, is that the hypercar isn't going to hurt you if you've kind of forgotten how to drive it. Is that kind of the main focus?
Yeah, I think so. Also, if you've got something this powerful, you need to be absolutely sure that it's safe to use, and it's not fighting against the driver. It's working with you. So if we did that and the tyres were cold, of course you'd get some slip.
Sure.
But the stability systems wouldn't counter anything
before
it gets out of control. So, but that was just to show you, it all goes onto the road.
Now, what was the ideal temperature for the 300 plus? Is it similar to a road car, or did it require much more conditioning for you to get that level of performance?
Do you mean from the tyres?
Yes, from the tyres.
From the tyres. No, I mean we ran standard tyre pressures.
Oh, really?
So cold pressures were 2.8 bar. I don't know what that is in PSI, but So I mean, it was a little bit warmer than it is now. No, probably around the same, 25, 26 degrees. So no, there's nothing different because of course even the standard car is capable of 261 miles an hour. It's limited to 261. So everything about Bugatti, all the numbers when you talk about Bugatti are extreme.
They're off the chart, essentially.
They really are, yeah. But that's the thing too. Look, it's not really possible to drive, not many places in the world to drive over 300 miles an hour on a public road.
Right.
But if you've got a car that is capable of over 300 miles an hour, just imagine how safe and how stable and how incredibly easy it is at 250 miles an hour, for example.
And Bugatti has a responsibility to keep the driver and the public safe.
Absolutely.
At the same time. Yeah. That's very important.
Yeah, modern cars are getting better all the time, modern cars, but they're also getting safer. Their modern security and stability systems are brilliant, and they react so quickly.
Right.
If they're needed.
Do you get into this kind of a pilot mode where before, even I saw how much preparation you did even before we came out and did this drive. What were some of the things that were going through your mind?
Some of that's just me. I drive my wife mad because in my office I've got a black pen, a red pen and a blue pen, and they have to be perfectly lined up or it's bothering me. So it's just me.
No, I can totally respect that. So, no, let's dig in a little bit about Andy. I mean, is this something that at what point did you realize this is who I am? I need things to be orderly.
I think racing does that to you because you're in your cockpit space and you haven't got time to look around for where things are. You just need to be able to do it with your eyes shut. So I mean, the ergonomics of the car, you design yourself with the guys in the team to make them as easy as you want. For example, buttons on the steering wheel, stuff anywhere on the dash, so that you can literally, in a split second, you can find what you want. So I think that whole ordered thing came maybe from that. Although, I from as long as I can remember, I've always liked things to be in order. Probably some kind of personality disorder, but hey,
there's nothing wrong with that. No, that's perfect. So let's take that to another level with the Bugatti design elements. You must love how everything is so simplified and organized. So can we talk about the interior design elements according to you and what your thoughts are?
Well, that's actually a good point. They've done a really nice job at making the interior less cluttered than it could otherwise be. It's really, really clean, simple. You don't see very many buttons and switches. All of the information that you'd expect to see is there. It's just that it's actually not obvious at first look. For example, the backup camera is coming there where the tyre status is. So is the navigation. So it's all there, but we don't have... Just stop for a second. There's a massive, great big speed bump in the road. So we're just going to lift it by going anti-clockwise. 1 second, the whole car's lifted. We don't even need to triangulate. We just drive straight over it. And you saw how big that was.
Yeah, that's massive. That's like almost half a foot.
It's crazy. But it'll... The reason it gets over such large obstacles, because it's quite low to the road, is just that it's got a very short overhang. So when I lift it, we're only lifting it 10 millimeters, but it's enough to get over most things. Sorry, where were we?
We were talking about design elements.
So this unclutteredness inside the car is great because it doesn't distract you. Also, whether you're in D drive mode or if you're in manual there's no kick down. You're pretty much controlling everything with the pedals. However, when it reaches max RPM, it'll upshift for you, and I find that absolutely brilliant because if you're doing an acceleration, you really should be looking where you're going, rather than peering at other things. Right. So, yeah, I mean, it's great. If I go into reverse, you can probably see that there. I mean, you've driven the car before, but all the information's there. What we don't have is a pop-up screen that you see in most cars.
Right.
The pop-up screen problem is that a bit like your cell phone, a couple of years down the line, that's going to look old-fashioned. Whereas this is classic, and you can see from the Veyron, although that's a 15-year-old car now, pretty much.
So even though it's a digital display, we still have the texture. We still have the three-dimensional elements that if people look through and looked at the cluster, they're like, this is a high-performing vehicle. Even by looking at that.
Even if the ignition's off and you lose the two side screens,
it's just not a flat display. It's that element that really stands out.
Yeah, I know, and it's great, but it's everything. Everything you touch and feel in here is quality, and you can see it, and feel it straight away. So no, it's a great place to sit, and although it's a fast car, you can also go for a long journey. And at the end of that, you don't feel like you've done half an hour in a bucking Bronco. You can go for hours. In fact, we just did the Grand Tour.
Yeah.
So we started off in Milan to Monaco to Aix-en-Provence to Beaune to Paris to Molsheim. It's over 2,000 kilometers of driving, and it's just a pure pleasure to drive this car. So yeah, so I reckon now, instead of just talking about it, we should let you
Oh, am I going to switch over now?
get where I am.
Yes! All right, let's do it. All right, guys, let's take a moment here. Chiron Sport with Andy. I can't even say that with a straight face because I have to pinch myself being right here with you in this car with everything that's happened, the success and whatnot. So here we go.